Now, what did you find was the most surprising in the full remote? What was the most surprising thing about your full remote time?
Um, I think the most surprising and frustrating, and it was actually, let me I'll do the positive spin on it first. I do believe, and again, it could have been the classes I teach. I do believe that most of my kids legitimately, in my classes, I should say, wanted to do it and succeed and get it done. I don't think, I mean, I know I had some students who didn't want to do anything, and I know other teachers I talked to, but I do think most of my kids wanted to do the remote learning because I think they understood it wasn't going to go away, in the sense of if I put it all off, this won't have any bad side effects. It'll be whatever. No, I think they all understood, hey, this eventually is going to come home at some point.
Now,
And that,
compare the way your students, because your class has changed a little bit from last year to this year, but you also have some consistent classes from last year to this year. Compare your students' response to remote learning this year to your students' response to remote learning in the spring of last year.
and that's exactly what I was thinking about. Was in the spring, I mean, we literally incentivized our students because the state of Illinois said remote learning during this could not harm a student. We were told, once March hit and they kind of threw together, which I mean, it was a plan thrown together quickly, and districts just reacted as best we could. Students' grades could not be harmed. So a lot of kids just, they had no incentive to even continue, and most of them didn't. I will say, like, I get it. I would like to think I'd have had enough, I want to learn this, but I might have been like, hey, video games are fun too. And I want to hang out with my friends, and we can't hang out physically because we're all stuck at home. So we're just talking and staying up, super late. Plus, I do think what also was really strange for us specifically was we went in and our last day of school was our last day before spring break. So the kids went into a break instantly
Yeah.
and then came out of it with another week break that gave us a week to try to get something together for our remote learning. So the kids had 2 weeks off from school last year, and then we're all of a sudden saying, well, none of this matters. It's almost April. The kids are like, I'm done. And I got, a quarter of school to waste.
And so engagement was not
It's
amazing.
not, but no. Whereas this year, I think the kids understand, like, after having gone through that, a lot of them, and not even just my college minded kids, sure, but even like there's kids who just, my freshmen. I had a lot of freshmen that was surprising that you could tell, I don't want to get behind. They knew that they'd been told, if you don't do this work, you could get behind. And I had a lot more of them, I think, engage than I would have normally thought. I was expecting no engagement from most students, and it was just going to be me haggling 30 to 40% of my population. It was more like 8 to 10 that was
Okay.
really having to kind of like consistently talk to get them to do their stuff.